Well, that was more of a political statement you just made.
I did the courtesy of having the clerk instruct everyone about these meetings. Plus, the work plan, of course, came today. But before that, there was notice of the meeting that came out both the end of last week.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Khalid, I'm addressing a point of order right now, so why don't you just hold on a second, and I'll finish up with Ms. Shanahan, and then
we haven't even started the meeting yet.
Point of order. I will,
just
Ms.
started
Khalid,
the hearing.
actually, when I turn to you, it will be a point of order. I'm going to address this just once, and then we can deal with it later if you like. But Ms. Shanahan, there was the work plan, of course, is not a notice. We had a subcommittee meeting on this. Your representative on that subcommittee, of course, was welcome to brief you on what was discussed. And I've sent Ms. Yip a note today if we can talk about it tomorrow or wait till next week. The preference is to wait until next week. Ms. Khalid, you have a point of order, please.
Yes, Chair. I take objection to you calling Ms. Brenda's concerns to be political in nature. I think that we have worked very well in this committee in the past in bringing consensus in working through the issues. We are a nonpartisan or a multi-partisan committee.
On the rules.
And for you to make those objections, Chair, is...
Hey, thank you. Ms. Khalid, all committees are...
No, sorry, Chair, I'm not done.
This is not a point of order, Ms. Khalid. Ms. Khalid, this is, again, a statement. All committees are multi-partisan. This is one that is also opposition-led. We had a subcommittee meeting on this, and I gave everyone what I thought to be suitable notice and received no objections beforehand. I am now on the floor, which is disrupting the meeting. This is not a point of order, and so I'm going to move on. You'll be in a position to make a further statement when it is your time. But again, my email works when I'm not in committee as well, and members are, of course, welcome to either work through me or work through their representative on the subcommittee. But the idea, to Ms. Shanahan's point, that today's working calendar represents the first that anyone heard of this is false. There was both an unofficial notice that was given a week ago, as well as official notification the end of last week, and then yesterday as well.
Point of order, Chair. My intervention was more that I hope that we will now follow the work plan and the subcommittee discussions, and that we will have no more meetings that are unilaterally called by the Chair.
Well, Chair, if we're just offering points of order, Chair, I'd like to make a point of order that I hope that we don't have points of order that aren't actually points of order like those from the previous two interveners.
I was taking Ms. Shanahan's last comment as a
that's great.
bow on her previous comment. And we will now, I will continue the opening process, welcoming our witnesses, and then we'll get to, the rounds of questioning. And just for the record, everyone, the indication I have is that we will review the subcommittee work Tuesday at the end of the meeting is the preference.
We don't have points of order that are not points of order.
So without further ado.
Couldn't have been said any better.
Today's meeting is taking place in hybrid format, pursuant to the standing orders. Members are attending in person in the room and remotely using the Zoom application. A reminder that all comments should be addressed to the Chair.
After 2 points of liberal, points of non-orders.
Pursuant to Standing Order 1083G, the committee shall resume its study of ArriveCAN Report 1.
From the Office of the Auditor General, Andrew Hayes, Deputy Auditor General, Sami Hanoush, Principal, Lucie Després, Director. And from the Canadian Border Services Agency, Darryl Vleeming, Vice President and Chief Information Officer, and Jonathan Moore, Vice President, Controllership Brands. Mr. Hayes will be given up to 5 minutes for your opening remarks, and then we'll turn to CBSA. So without further ado, you have the floor, Mr. Hayes. Do you have a timer by chance?
Mr. Chair, thank you for inviting us again to discuss our report on ArriveCAN. I would like to acknowledge that this hearing is taking place on the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. I am accompanied by Sami Hanoush and Lucie Després, who were responsible for the audit. Dans le cadre de notre audit de l'application ArriveCAN,
our audit of the ArriveCAN application looked at how the Canada Border Services Agency, the Public Health Agency of Canada, and Public Services and Procurement Canada managed the procurement and development of the application, and whether they spent public funds in a way that delivered value for money.
You have heard the Auditor General emphasize how deeply concerned we are by what this audit didn't find. We didn't find records to accurately show how much was spent on what, who did the work, or how and why contracting decisions were made. And that paper trail should have existed. Overall, this audit shows a glaring disregard for basic management and contracting practices throughout ArriveCAN's development and implementation.
Which the dude sitting right next to you is responsible for.
Needed to be flexible and fast in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, but they still needed to document their decisions and demonstrate the prudent use of public funds. In this audit, we found disappointing failures and omissions everywhere we looked. Public servants must always be transparent and accountable to Canadians for their use of public funds. An emergency does not mean that all the rules go out the window and that departments and agencies are no longer required to document their decisions and keep complete and accurate records. Monsieur le Président, je termine ainsi.
Mr. Chairperson, we'd be pleased to answer any questions, and I conclude my opening remarks. Thank you very much.